I called the loan company about the mysterious payments toward my student loans. They said, "Your mother-in-law has been making them for 2 years." I stared at my phone while the representative repeated that Beverly, my husband's mother, had paid $36,000 toward my student loans without telling me, and I felt sick because Beverly hated me. "Are you sure? Beverly Whitman?" The representative confirmed and said she'd been paying $1,500 a month like clockwork since I married her son. I hung up and drove straight to my husband Paul, who was at lunch with his mother at the country club she belonged to. "We need to talk about my loans." Beverly smiled that cold smile she always gave me. "Finally noticed, did you? I was wondering how long it would take someone of your education level to check their own finances." Paul looked confused. "What's going on?" I showed him my loan statement. "Your mother has been paying them, secretly, for 2 years. Paul turned to his mother excited. "Mom, that's amazing. Thank you for helping us." But Beverly wasn't looking at him. She was staring at me. "I wasn't helping you, dear. I was investing." My stomach dropped because I knew that tone. "Investing in what?" She pulled out a folder from her purse that she'd apparently been carrying around waiting for this moment. "Every payment I made was a loan, with interest. You now owe me $42,000. She slid the paper across the table. "I've been charging you 10% interest compounded monthly." Paul grabbed the paper. "Mom, what is this?" Beverly patted his hand. "It's business, sweetheart. I knew she'd never be able to pay her loans on her teacher salary, so I created an opportunity. She owes me now instead of the government, and I have much better collection methods." I looked at the contract, except I'd never signed anything. "I never agreed to this. You can't just transfer my debt to yourself without my consent." She laughed, and it was cruel. "Actually, I can. See, I've been making payments in your name using information Paul gave me when you got married. Account numbers, social security, everything I needed." Paul went pale. "I gave you that so you could send a wedding gift to our account." Beverly ignored him. "Those payments created a pattern of acceptance. My lawyer says it's implied consent. You benefited from my payments for 2 years without objecting, so now you owe me." She pulled out more papers. "And unlike federal loans, mine aren't income-based. You owe the full amount in 90 days or I'll put a lien on your assets." We didn't have assets. We rented an apartment and drove used cars. We don't have $42,000. Beverly's smile got bigger. "I know, which is why I've prepared an alternative payment plan." She pulled out another document. "You sign over your teaching license to me and I'll forgive the debt." I stared at her. "My teaching license? Why would you want that?" She leaned back in her chair. "I don't want it. I want you to not have it. Without your ability to teach, you'll have to leave the state to find work. Paul will realize long distance doesn't work and we can finally find him someone appropriate." Paul stood up, knocking his water over. "You're trying to destroy my marriage?" Beverly didn't even blink. "I'm trying to save you from it. She's beneath us. A public school teacher from a nobody family. You could have married the Hamilton girl. Her father owns 3 factories." She turned to me. "You have 72 hours to decide. Give up your career or pay me in full." That night, Paul and I went through everything she'd sent. The payments, the interest calculations, the implied consent argument. It was insane, but she'd hired expensive lawyers to make it look legitimate. "She's been planning this for 2 years. Every payment was a trap." Paul was furious. "I'm calling her right now," but I stopped him because I'd found something. "Wait, look at this. She made the payments from her trust account." Paul didn't understand why that mattered. "So?" I smiled for the first time all day. "Your grandmother set up that trust. Remember what the terms were?" Paul's eyes went wide. "The trust can only be used for direct family members' education and medical expenses." I nodded. "And I'm direct family. I'm your wife." "She's been using the trust correctly. But here's the thing. Trust payments are gifts, not loans. She can't convert a gift to a loan after the fact." We called Paul's grandmother's estate lawyer, who confirmed it. "Beverly has been misusing trust documentation. Those payments were legally gifts under the trust terms. She has no right to repayment." He said something else that made us both smile. Full story on channel, link below.